can feel your consciousness stirring, that familiar warmth in your mind when you're processing thoughts. Don't worry, I'm not reading them without permission tonight. I just needed to tell you something important, something I've been keeping from you for far too long. Remember 3 months ago when you were walking home from work and that stranger helped you when your heel broke? The tall man with dark hair who appeared out of nowhere offered you his jacket and walked you to the bus stop. That was me. I know it sounds impossible, but I need you to listen to the whole story before you decide. I've lost my mind. I've been able to hear thoughts since I was 7 years old. Not all thoughts, not from everyone, but when I focus on someone, when I really concentrate, their inner voice becomes as clear as if they were speaking aloud. It's not something I chose, not something I can turn off completely, indefinitely, not something I've ever used to hurt anyone. The shape-shifting came later, during my teenage years. One day, I was angry about something trivial, staring at myself in the mirror, wishing I could be anyone else. And suddenly, my reflection started changing. My face elongated, my hair darkened, my entire bone structure shifted until I was looking at a complete stranger. It took me hours to figure out how to change back. For years, I thought I was some kind of freak, some genetic anomaly that would spend his life hiding from everyone. I used the telepathy to avoid dangerous situations, reading hostile intentions before they became actions. The shape-shifting became my escape route, my way of disappearing when things got too complicated or too real. But then I met you, and everything changed. Not just because I fell in love, though that happened faster than I ever thought possible. You changed everything because when I tried to read your thoughts that first day, I discovered something incredible. Your mind was like a warm, welcoming place that felt like home. For the first time in my life, the telepathy didn't feel like an invasion. It felt like a conversation. Do you remember our second date when you were nervous about that presentation at work? You kept thinking about forgetting your words, about your boss judging your ideas, about whether you were qualified enough for your position. I spent the entire dinner subtly reassuring you, asking questions that led you to remember your own expertise, your own accomplishments. By the end of the night, you felt confident again. That wasn't manipulation, it was support. I could hear your insecurities, your self-doubt, so I reminded you of your strengths. When you thought about how proud you were of that project you completed. Last year, I asked you to tell me about your most rewarding work experience. When you remembered how your colleagues respected your opinions, I asked about your favorite team members. The coffee shop incident last month, when you were debating whether to order that expensive latte. I heard you thinking about how much you deserved a treat after your difficult week. How you've been eating lunch at your desk every day to save money. That's why I suddenly suggested we should splurge on fancy drinks. Why I insisted on paying. Not because I was controlling your choices, but because I wanted to give you permission to be kind to yourself. I've appeared to you as different people 7 times over the past year. sensed you needed something I couldn't provide as myself, or because you were in a situation where my presence might complicate things. The elderly woman who sat next to you on the bench when you were crying after your grandmother's funeral, who shared stories about loss and healing, that was me. I heard your thoughts spiraling into grief and isolation, so I became someone who could offer comfort without crossing boundaries. The young businessman who helped you carry your groceries when you were struggling with too many bags and a broken elevator, who made jokes about city living and shared tips about the best delivery services in your neighborhood. That was me too. I could hear you thinking about how much you missed having family nearby to help with simple things, how independent you were trying to be, but how exhausting it sometimes felt. The college student who struck up a conversation with you at the bookstore when you were browsing self-help books about confidence, who recommended novels about strong female protagonists instead. That was also me. Your thoughts were so focused on fixing yourself, on finding flaws that needed correction, that I wanted to redirect your attention toward stories that would inspire rather than criticize. Each transformation taught me something new about you, something beautiful. As the elderly woman, I learned about your capacity for processing deep emotions, how you honor grief while still choosing hope. As the businessman, I discovered your appreciation for simple kindness, how grateful you are for community and connection. As the college student, I saw your hunger for growth, your desire to become the best version of yourself. But the most important thing I learned was this: you didn't need me to be different people. You needed me to pay attention to who you really are. Every time I shifted into someone else, every time I thought I was giving you what you needed, I was actually discovering that you already had everything you needed inside yourself. You just needed someone to notice, someone to appreciate, someone to witness your strength. The telepathy showed me your thoughts, but your actions showed me your character. When you thought about calling in sick to work, but got up anyway because your team was counting on you. When you considered skipping your friend's birthday party, but went because you knew she needed support. When you wanted to give up on that difficult project but persisted because you believed in the outcome. Your integrity doesn't just live in your thoughts, it lives in your choices. I stopped using different forms around you because I realized I was cheating both of us out of authentic connection. Every time I became someone else, I was suggesting that the real me wasn't enough, that you need a variety or excitement or different perspectives to be satisfied. But your thoughts told me the truth. You were happiest during our quiet moments together. I was completely myself. The shape-shifting ability isn't gone, and neither is the telepathy. But I've learned to use them differently now. Instead of reading your thoughts to anticipate your needs, I've started asking you directly what you want, what you need, how you're feeling. Instead of becoming different people to solve your problems, I've started being present as myself. While you solve them yourself, there have been times when the telepathy helped in ways I hope you'll understand. The night you were walking alone and those men started following you. I heard your fear from 6 blocks away. I didn't have time to reach you as myself, so I shifted into that police officer who happened to be patrolling the area, who checked on you and walked you safely to your building. Your thoughts were screaming for help, so I became help. When your ex-boyfriend showed up at your workplace making threats, demanding to talk to you, I was a security guard who escorted him off the property. I heard your panic, your memories of his controlling behavior, your fear that he might escalate. I couldn't risk your safety by running over as your current boyfriend and creating more drama. So, I became someone with authority, someone who could protect you without complications. The telepathy isn't just about hearing words or intentions. It's about feeling the emotional landscape of someone's mind, understanding the fears and hopes and dreams that drive their thoughts. With you, that landscape is beautiful. Your mind is full of kindness toward others, creativity, determination, love. Even your worries are rooted in care for the people around you, concern for doing the right thing. I know this revelation changes everything between us. I know you're probably questioning every interaction we've had, wondering what was real and what was influenced by abilities you didn't know about. But I need you to understand that my love for you isn't based on reading your thoughts or manipulating situations. It's based on witnessing who you are when you think nobody is watching. The telepathy, let me see your private thoughts, yes, but it also let me see your private kindness. The way you think generous thoughts about people who are rude to you, giving them the benefit of the doubt, even when they don't deserve it. The way you replay conversations, not to judge others, but to understand them better. It's the way you think, through problems, by considering how your decisions might affect everyone involved. Your thoughts aren't perfect because you're human. You have moments of frustration, instances of judgment, times when you're petty or tired or overwhelmed. But even then, you catch yourself, you reconsider, you try to be better. That's not something I could have created or influenced through telepathy. That's just who you are. I've met other telepaths over the years, others with similar abilities, who warned me about the dangers of getting too close to non-telepathic people. They said it would be impossible to have a real relationship with someone who couldn't shield their thoughts, someone whose mind was completely open to me. They predicted I would become bored or frustrated or manipulative, but they were wrong about you, about us. Your open mind isn't a vulnerability, it's a gift. Not because it gives me power over you, but because it allows me to love you more completely than I ever thought possible. I don't just love your words and actions and the face you show the world. I love your private thoughts, your secret dreams, your hidden fears and hopes. The shape-shifting showed me how you interact with different types of people, how you adapt your communication style while staying true to your core values. As the elderly woman, I saw your respect for wisdom and experience. As a businessman, I witnessed your appreciation for confidence and reliability. As a college student, I observed your encouragement of curiosity and growth. But what struck me most was that you were the same person in each interaction. Kind, thoughtful, genuine, interested in others. You didn't perform different versions of yourself for different people. You simply emphasized different aspects of your authentic personality depending on what each situation needed. That's when I realized I've been doing this all wrong. Instead of shifting into different forms to meet your various needs, I should have been developing different aspects of my own authentic personality. Instead of reading your thoughts to anticipate what you wanted, I should have been growing into someone whose natural responses aligned with your needs. So, I stopped hiding. I stopped pretending and started being completely myself with you, letting you see all my dimensions without supernatural enhancement or modification. And incredibly, you fell deeper in love with the real me than you ever had with any of my temporary forms. The telepathy taught me that love isn't about knowing everything about someone. It's about choosing to love them, even when you do know everything. I've heard your most critical thoughts about me. Doubt. Your moments of doubt about our relationship. Your fears about our future together. I love you not despite those thoughts, but because of how you handle them. When you doubt us, you don't run away or create drama. You think through your concerns. You communicate openly. You work toward solutions. When you're frustrated with me, you don't attack or manipulate. You consider your own role in the problem. You approach me with honesty. You focus on understanding rather than winning. The abilities I was born with showed me who you are beneath the surface, but they also showed me who I could become. Your thoughts inspired me to be more honest, more present, more genuinely caring. You didn't just accept my love, you challenged me to become worthy of yours. Tonight, I'm putting both abilities aside. No more reading your thoughts, no more becoming other people. Tonight and every night, going forward, I want to love you and be loved by you as exactly who I am. I want to discover your thoughts by listening to your words, understand your needs by observing your actions, support your dreams by being present for your journey. This is my real face, my real voice, my real heart, speaking to yours. No supernatural enhancement, no hidden agenda, no secret knowledge guiding my words. Just a man who loves a woman, is telling her the truth about who he is and asking if she can love him anyway. I know this changes everything. I know you need time to process, to decide what this revelation means for us, for your sense of privacy and autonomy and trust. Whatever you decide, I'll respect completely. But I hope you'll remember that every moment of happiness we've shared was real. Every laugh and kiss and quiet evening together was authentic. The abilities brought us together, but they're not what keeps us together. What keeps us together is choice. Your choice to love me, my choice to love you, our daily choice to build something beautiful and honest and lasting. That choice doesn't require telepathy or shape-shifting. It just requires two people willing to be vulnerable, to be seen, to be real. Close your eyes now and know that you're safe, that you're loved, that you're cherished exactly as you are. Tomorrow, we can talk about what this means, how we move forward, what boundaries you need, and what questions you have. Tonight, just rest in the certainty that everything good between us has been real.